Team, everybody says that they can be the top salesman. They tell me all the time, as soon as I get in front of a customer, I can close 9 out of 10 people. And I think, wow, if you can close 9 out of 10 people, you have got to be a superstar salesman. Then you ask them, well, how much money do you have in your bank account? How much, do you live in a house? Do you live in an apartment? Where do you live? You ask them and you get down to it, or you put them in front of 10 people, can they really close the deals? And most of the time the answer is no, they can't. They haven't closed 9 out of 10 people in their entire life because they don't have a system. I have closed and made millions of dollars in commissions closing deals because I always have a system in place. So many salespeople out there, they go into their sales job, if you're selling phones or vacuums or cars, and they wing it. They never try to create a system to get good at what they do. And over the last 20 years, I've used the system. And one part of the system is the upfront contract. So this is not going to be the whole selling system video. It's just going to be the upfront contract. So many times whenever a salesman meets with a customer, usually there is no agenda set in place. There's no, what's going to happen next set in place. And usually there's this mystification of the buyer comes in, the salesman asks, well, how can I help you? Is there anything that I can do for you? And then the salesperson usually says, no, I'm just looking, or I just want the information on it, and then I'll make my decision later. Well, the salesperson, if they use something called the upfront contract, or UFC, and to set the agenda, to set, what that agent or that salesperson wants to do with that client. For example, if you're selling a car and the customer comes to you, or if you're selling, let's say, a life insurance or annuity policy, and you're sitting in front of that client, always set the agenda. Today, I'm going to talk with you about this life insurance policy. I'm going to share with you how the life insurance policy works, the ins and out of it, how the death benefit works for the beneficiaries, how it's tax-free, how the living benefits work, how the cash value grows. And at the end of the presentation, and at the end of the time that we're spending today, the 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to ask for you to buy this life insurance policy for me. Or at the end of me showing you how this vacuum works, I'm going to expect for you to buy the vacuum. Or after I show you this vehicle, this car, I'm going to go on this test drive with you. I'm going to show you how it works, talk with you about the warranty, talk with you about where it was built, talk with you about everything, talk with you about the finances, talk with you about how much it's going to cost you each month to buy it. But at the end of the time that we meet together, I'm going to ask for you to buy it today. Do you see any reason why you wouldn't be able to buy that life insurance policy, buy that vacuum, or buy this vehicle, or whatever other product you're selling? So you have to set up that upfront contract in the beginning with the customer. And I always use this little acronym called ANOT. And before I even start talking, for some reason it just sets the mood. It sets me apart from the average salesperson when I use this acronym ANOT. I appreciate you taking your time to sit down with me. Naturally, you're going to have some questions for me. Obviously, I'm going to have some questions for you. Typically, this meeting, so this is the agenda part, is only going to take about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Or, we're going to test drive, in the vehicle. It's going to take about 20 minutes. But I set the agenda and I use ANOT. I appreciate you taking your time. Naturally, obviously, and typically, we're going to meet for 10 or 15 minutes. And then what I do is I use the upfront contract I had just mentioned. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this computer, or we're going to talk about this calculator. We're going to talk about this pen. And at the end of the meeting today, I expect for you to buy the pen. So it kind of eliminates that wasting time. Most salespeople will have a customer sit down in front of them. They'll sit down and they'll say, okay, what we're going to do today, I'm going to explain how this pen works. This pen was made in India. It's got the best ink in the world. It's got a rubber tip so you can touch your screen on it. It's got stainless steel. It's got the best grip. It feels great. It writes. You could write, an encyclopedia. It works so well. It lasts forever. It's the best pen in the world. And then you spend 30 minutes presenting your product to that customer, or that life insurance, or that car, or that vacuum cleaner to a customer. Come to find out, they have a life insurance agent that they've been working with already. They just wanted to feel you out or get information. We call it the buyer-seller dance. They wanted to milk the salesman for the information, lie to the salesman up front, and then go buy it from someone else. So when you set that upfront contract in the beginning, what you have done is you have set the expectations, you eliminate that mystification, and you have allowed that person who's potentially going to buy know what you expect if you present. And if the person says, no, I'm not buying from you today at all, then what you're able to do is you're able to limit your time spent with this person. No, I have another broker I'm working with. I just want to find out that information that you've got on your product, and I'm going to go back to buy from him. Well, you're not going to spend 30 or 40 minutes or an hour or 2 hours chasing that person down, or spend an hour or 2 hours when you know they're going to go buy that vehicle from another dealership that they've been using for the last 5 years, 10 years. So remember, when you're selling, if you want to be effective, put some kind of system in place. Use it over and over and over again. Stop winging it. You're never going to make it winging it. I'm the best salesman ever. Well, if you don't have a system in place, and if you haven't made $1 million selling, then you definitely are not the best salesperson out there. But if you are interested and you are willing to actually build some kind of system in place, give me a call. I can help you out. I can help you put together a system to help you close more sales on the annuity, life insurance, or any other industry at that. It's easy to do. Once you get the hang of it, you can start closing deals and it'll change your life. So hopefully that word of advice today will help you understand that you've got to have a system when you're closing deals. Thanks a lot, team. Have a good day. Subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest updates on the fixed index annuity world and how DFS can help you with your business.